Um, okay, so this week and next week, um, each of you will give your final presentation one after another. So for today's presentations, our first presenter is Nana. Nana, please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay, sure. Share my screen. Oh, it says I have to grant access. Hold on.
So you open your PowerPoint or the document that you need first, and then in Zoom, you click share screen. It's at the bottom of the menu bar.
Yeah, I shared it, but it says that I have to quit Zoom and restart.
Oh, take your time.
Okay. I'm gonna quit and then see if it works.
Okay.
Okay.
So as we are waiting for Nana to come back, because she just encountered some problems in sharing her PowerPoint with us. So I would love to, okay, Nana is back with us. Okay.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, it's raining. Okay, can everyone see it?
Yes, very clearly.
So today I'm just going to be presenting on my video that I'm going to show you guys, and my topic is cooking during quarantine. So what is my project? I decided to make a video about cooking during quarantine. 1 second. Because I know that for many people, our situation right now has impacted our lives in many different ways, but I know that like for everyone, we all need food, and we're all trying to, find new ways to like cook food or get access to food. So cooking can help people in many ways during this time, because people need to cook to sustain themselves at home, or they might have access to less resources than before. And we no longer have access to Lowry. And cooking is therapeutic. It helps to kill time and limit boredom. And also, I have been cooking since I was a young child, so it's something that I'm passionate about. And I thought that during this time, it would be nice to share some of my knowledge with my classmates. So what do? Basically, I make a step-by-step tutorial on how to make 3 recipes. One is pretty easy. The other 2 are more time-consuming. I show you guys how to make some grilled chicken, tuna melts, and an Alfredo chicken bake. And I chose these recipes based on the idea that some people might have access to a limited amount of resources, but other people might have stocked up due to the virus and not wanting to leave their home, so they might have more ingredients than ever before. And why I chose my project, I basically read a couple of articles talking about how other people have been using cooking as a tool to cope with the coronavirus crisis. And so these are just some quotes that I found in various articles about other people using cooking as therapy. So one person said, "While I've been stuck in my apartment, cooking and baking have become my outlet to channel all my fears and anxieties. I'm far from alone. We have to eat, and restaurants are shut down other than for delivery and pickup orders. So home cooking is simply necessary." Somebody else says, "We're still cooking more meals at home than we might have in the past. I used to have lunch at my office every day, for instance, but now I'm cobbling together lunches and whatever's in my fridge on weekdays while I work from home." And somebody else says, "It's my slice of normal amid an incredibly abnormal time." So that's why I chose this topic. And so I'm going to just play my video that I made. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we can.
Oh, no, Nana, we couldn't see your screen. We could only see the PowerPoint. Please
Oh, okay.
stop share, and then share again.
Yeah. Okay. Share screen.
So did you open your video already?
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yes, now we can see it. Okay,
Okay.
go ahead.
Turn it up some. It's hard to see. It's really laggy.
Yeah, Nana, we couldn't see the video.
Okay. Well, I mean, I uploaded it onto YouTube just in case.
Yeah.
Could you send us the link in the chat? Would that work, Professor?
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes. Yes. Nana, please send us the YouTube link. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
I don't know if
Okay.
you share it from your end, Professor Yo, if that'll work.
You mean the YouTube link?
Like if you if you share your screen with the YouTube link, I don't know.
Let me try. Please remind me where did you put
I'm
the
gonna
YouTube
share the
link?
link with you now.
Okay.
I'm in class. I'm presenting.
Final oral presentation.
I'll just send you the link now.
Oh yes, please. Okay. Stop share. Okay, so I will pause the recording here. So please go to YouTube and watch the video. We will come back in about, how long is the video, Nana?
It's around 5 minutes.
Okay, we will come back in 5 minutes.
Okay.
Oh, I should mute myself. Okay, great. I'm also done too. I'm done with watching the video. Um, please let me know if you need more time. But Nana's video is posted in our chat, the Zoom group chat. If you came here late, please go to Zoom group chat and click the link. That is Nana's cooking demonstration. Nana, thank you so much for making the great cooking demonstration.
No problem.
So is this the end of your final presentation?
Yes, and I just have my sources at the end of my PowerPoint, but
Okay.
what was that?
I think I forgot to stop recording. So I recorded the whole 5 silent minutes.
Oh,
Okay, so never mind. Nana, will you please provide your sources with us?
okay, sure.
Mm.
Those are my sources.
Okay, thank you so much, Nana. So any questions for Nana? Any questions? Feel free to unmute yourself if you have any questions.
Yeah, I was wondering how you chose which recipes you wanted to include.
Sure. So basically, sorry, I wanted to pick stuff that was easier and like some stuff that was harder, just because I know that like some people might have access to a lot of ingredients right now. So for example, my mom went shopping like never before, and we have a lot of stuff in the house that normally under normal circumstances we wouldn't have those ingredients. But then on the other hand, I know that like some students who might be on campus right now might not have access to a lot of resources. So I wanted to do some short recipes, like for example, the tuna melt, which doesn't require a lot of foods, and then also ingredients that are readily accessible, like pantry ingredients. So for example, canned tuna can be kept in the home for a long time and it doesn't expire. So I know that like a lot of people might have that if they're stocking up for like longer periods of time. And then, but then I also wanted to do like recipes that might take a longer time to make, just because that's more therapeutic and it helps people to kill some time. So if you're cooking for like, let's say an hour, then like that's just something to help you pass the day and just pass the time by. So that's how I basically picked 3 recipes.
Okay, thank you so much, Nana, for the great presentation, and thank you, Sophie, for the great question. So our second presenter is Sophie. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Just a second. Okay, I'm gonna be starting now. I'm Sophia, and this project is called Country, a portrait of a Buddhist meal, because I'm going to be talking about kanji and how it like fits into the Buddhist meal requirements really well. So to start off, I just wanted to answer the question, what is kanji? It's a savory rice porridge. You can see a picture of it here. And ginger is another really important ingredient in it. and it can be served with a variety of different toppings like fish, meat, vegetables, tofu, anything like that. That looks like this one has like some green onions on it. It might have like some sesame oil or something like that. And I'm not sure what's in the middle, but I thought it might either be some sort of onion or possibly a fish product, but I think that's less likely. And then also there are a lot of different varieties in different countries, mostly Asian countries, though Portugal also has its own variety because of colonization. But yeah, so like China will have one variety, but there are also different varieties in Vietnam, Thailand, pretty much a lot of different countries across Asia. And then it's like really good to eat when you're sick, but it can also taste really good anytime. So I did read about like in India, I think it said like a lot of times it's for people who are sick, but of course you can eat it whenever you want, especially like if it's cold out, it can be really good because it's like a warm thing. And then, so what are the ingredients? Like I said, rice is the main part. Ginger is also really important for the flavor because it's one of the main sources of flavor along with the broth and the salt. And then toppings can be pretty much anything. But some that I like are mushrooms, green onions, tofu, sesame oil, and soy sauce. And I don't know if you've ever eaten the congee they have in Lowry, but if you have, some of the toppings they have are mushrooms and tofu, so that's kind of like what I'm familiar with since I first ate it in Lowry.
And it's bland and Lowry.
And then the cooking process is also really simple. Basically, you're just overcooking the rice, so you have to soak the rice in water before you cook it. And then you cook the rice, ginger, broth, and salt all together in a pot. And the ratio should be 1 cup of rice for 7 cups of broth, which if you've cooked any like normal rice before, you'll know that this is way more liquid than normally goes into rice. And that's because you're trying to get the rice to really absorb lots and lots of water. So it becomes kind of more mushy and takes on a new texture than it would normally have to make it into a porridge type of thing. And then when you do that, you'll bring it to a boil and then you'll simmer it for about an hour, which also, if you're familiar with cooking rice normally, you'll know that normally when you cook rice, you do not cook it for nearly that long. So again, that's just part of making it have the really soft, creamy sort of texture that it should have. And then something that I noticed when I was looking at this recipe, and something that you probably noticed as well, is that the cooking, the ingredients, the flavor, the texture, they're all super, super simple. I think there are like 6 ingredients in it. And also the cooking, like what you have to do to cook it is something you can pretty much just memorize but after reading it once. And also it doesn't have a lot of strong flavors unless you add a lot of toppings. Which is totally optional. And the texture is also pretty smooth, so it's all really simple. And that is important because it ties it into Buddhism, which is what I'm going to be talking about in my final project. And so Buddhist meals emphasize simplicity because food in Buddhism is often a symbol of restraint, and so the simplicity of the meal represents kind of making sort of sacrifices or restraining from eating a lot of complex things as kind of a way of being more spiritual. And then also a lot of times Buddhists will avoid meat, though that really depends, as you know, from the reading and the discussion in the class. So it can change a lot depending on what that individual believes. But another thing is that rice is a staple of Buddhist cuisine, which is probably also due to how simple it is and how prevalent it is. But these are just like 4 different things that I thought made congee a really good example of a Buddhist meal. especially because congee with all the different toppings can have like everything you need for one meal, and yet it's just one bowl. So I thought that that went into the simplicity as well. And then I wanted to share a quote with you that I think really explains um, kind of Buddhist cuisine and also a little bit about the beginning of Buddhism really well. So it says, the central premise of Buddhism was that the root cause of human suffering was the illusion of a fixed world and an individual self. This illusion condemned humans to endless cycles of rebirth, as human emotions such as lust and anger and pride drove them to commit evil actions that caused suffering to others. Buddhism called on its followers to renounce the illusory world, dedicating themselves to lives of spiritual purification and good works. Ashoka was kind of like the I don't know exactly the founder, but he was the person that really started to spread Buddhism. Ashoka, by his own account, revolted by his slaughter of thousands in the war against Kalinga, a state in East Central India, banned the sacrifice that for thousands of years had linked humans, the state, and the gods. He encouraged the emerging Buddhist cuisine, probably similar to the other emerging cuisines of Jains and Reformed-minded Hindus, that were based on cooked rice granules, dal, ghee, sugar confections, and sweetened fruit drinks. So I thought that was interesting, partly because it just kind of helps you to get a little bit more of an idea of what Buddhism is about, but also because it mentions the new cuisine and how rice was a really big part of that. And that was from one of the readings that I'm doing for my final project. So just a quick summary of what I'm going to be doing in my final project. I'm trying to make like a magazine kind of style article, like something, what I thought of was something you might read on the airplane, that they have in the seat, or like in the pocket behind the seat. And first I will talk about the history of Buddhist cuisine and provide background for the rest of the project. Then I will focus on a few examples of modern Buddhist cuisine and how it influences culture in China. And then I will make my own kanji and write about my experiences and include pictures and everything like that. So I have 3 discussion questions. First, have you ever eaten kanji before? And what did you think? Second, did you think that do you think that choosing your food is a moral or ethical act? And third, do you observe any religious or spiritual diet guidelines? And you can answer in any of those that you want. I don't really mind what order, so yeah.
Could you elaborate more on the second question about choosing your food?
Yeah, so I think you can go any different way with that. You can go like an environmental way, an animal rights way, a religious way, anything you want. But like, do you think that when you choose your food, this has any sort of moral or ethical implications?
I can answer the first one,
Okay.
but I kind of want to spin it back a bit. Is kanji famous in America? Because I know that in Asian countries, or in East Asian countries specifically, it's really famous. Like people usually eat them whenever they're sick. Apparently, it has some kind of health implications.
Yeah, I had never really heard of it before, before I saw it in Larry.
Uh, and even in Lowry, it isn't that good. And about the moral ethical one, I think it depends on why you choose it. I mean, that's pretty uh, self-explanatory, but choosing your food for health reason, I don't know about religious reason, and I'd rather not get there, but in terms of environmental reasonings and even health reasoning, I do believe it is an ethical act.
Thank you.
I would love to respond to your questions too, Sophia.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
So I was born and grew up in China. So like I was from the Henan province. It's in the central part of China. So we eat congee as breakfast and dinner for almost every day. So in the morning we eat kanji with some vegetables or pickles, and in the evening we will also eat kanji, but with some like dishes, fried vegetables, and so on. So kanji was part of my daily life when I was back in China. But after I came to the US, I think I started to eat bread and drink milk as breakfast because it's still a little time consuming to cook kanji.
Yeah.
So yeah, recently, if you read Chinese news, you will know that there was a controversy about eating kanji as breakfast in China. Dr. Zhang Wenhong suggested the kids to eat more like proteins and also to drink some milk. So the doctor didn't recommend the kanji to kids, to small kids, especially we're all in the time of crisis because we need to stay healthy and strengthen our body. But that aroused lots of controversies and debates online in China. But it's complicated. But make it short, kanji is a traditional food in China in people's daily lives. But I think I really love how you articulated the interaction, the interrelationship of kanji with Buddhism. And I look forward to reading your article.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much.
Very
Sophia, will you please, stop share?
Yeah.
So Emily, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead with your presentation.
Okay. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
we can.
see.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so for my presentation, I did it on the 8 culinary traditions of China, and I did a recipe collection for it. So the 8 culinary traditions of China are the most influential and commonly known Chinese cuisines, and they originated as early as the Shang Dynasty in the 17th century BC, with the 4 main cuisines, Shandong, Sichuan, Cantonese, and Jiangsu. And by the end of the Qing Dynasty, from 1644 to 1911 AD, the 4 new cuisines were created: Zhejiang, Fujian, Hunan, and Anhui. So Anhui, I think that's how you say it, I'm not sure. Originated over 1,000 years ago from the Yizhou, the current Zhejiang County, at the foot of the Yellow Mountain in the Anhui province. And that's where it's popular. And the flavors are most known to be salty and fresh, light, and original flavors of wild ingredients. So for this style of cuisine, or for each one, I chose like a starter dish, like a main dish and a dessert. So for this cuisine, the starter dish I chose was fried hairy tofu, which is prepared using a type of fungus. And so for the main dish, I chose the stewed soft shell turtle with ham. And for the dessert, I chose guiling gao, which is like a jelly type dessert. Cantonese is the most popular Chinese cuisine around the world, and it consists of 3 branches: Guangzhou,
Yes.
Chaozhou, and Dongjiang, and each has its own characteristics. And it originated during the Han Dynasty from 202 BC to 220 AD. And it's popular in the Guangdong province, Hong Kong, Macau, and overseas countries. and its flavors are most known to be mild, fresh, natural, and sweet. So for Cantonese, the starter dish that I chose was slow cooked soup. For the main dish, I chose roasted suckling pig, and for the dessert, I chose onion tofu, which is like a pudding type dessert. The next cuisine is Fujian, which are known as woodland delicacies and seafoods that are frequently used with a variety of cooking methods. Another fact about it is that the Fujian chefs take cutting skills and seasoning very seriously, and it's popular in the Fujian province, Taiwan, and Southeast Asia countries. And its flavors are known to be light, fresh, sweet, and sour. For the starter dish, I chose a hot and sour soup. And for the main dish, I chose a dish called Buddha Jumps Over the Wall, which is a shark fin soup. And for the dessert, I chose a sweet and sour lychee. The next cuisine is Hunan, which originated from the Dongting Lake area and western Hunan mountain area. The Hunan province contains rivers, lakes, mountains, rolling hills, plains, and pools, which allowed local people to create a wide variety of delicacies, making full use of these rich resources. And it originated during the Western Han Dynasty from 202 BC to 220 AD. And it's popular in the Hunan province, just China in general, the United States, Europe, Japan, and Southeast Asia. And its flavors are known to be spicy, hot and spicy, sour and spicy, and salty and spicy. The starting dish I chose for the Hunan cuisine is Hunan rice noodles. And for the main dish, I chose Chairman Mao's braised pork. And for the dessert, I chose honey glutinous rice cake, which is just used, it's just made by mixing rice flour and honey. The next cuisine is Jiangsu, and it's famous for its beautiful and delicate appearance. Most of the Jiangsu cuisine dishes well preserve the original flavors of food materials. And it originated during the Qin Dynasty from 221 to 207 BC. And it's popular in the Jiangsu province. And its flavors are most known for being umami, fresh, slightly sweet, natural, and mild. For this cuisine, I chose, for the starter dish, a boiled dry bean curd. For the main dish, I chose a Nanjing salted duck. And for the dessert, I chose Huang Kiao sesame cake. The next cuisine is Shandong, which is considered as the #1 of the 8 great cuisines of China, for being the only self-originated cuisine among the 8, while the others were influenced by other cuisines to some degree. It also has the longest, I think it's like the oldest among all the cuisines, and has the most abundant cooking techniques and the most difficult cooking and cutting methods. It originated during the spring and autumn period of 770 to 476 BC, and it's popular in Shandong and southern Liaoning. And its flavors are known to be umami, salty, sour, and sweet. The starter dish that I chose for this cuisine was cuttlefish roe soup. For the main dish, I chose diced pork in a pot, and for dessert, I chose a dish called tangulu, which is pretty much like candied fruit. The next cuisine is Szechuan, which has the largest market share in China. And the dishes featured in this cuisine have colorful appearance, are abundant with seasonings, usually pepper and prickly ashes, and use a variety of cooking methods. The Szechuan cuisine originated during the Southern Song Dynasty from 1127 to 1279 AD, and it's popular in the Sichuan province and Chongqing. And its flavors are known to be hot and spicy, sour and spicy, and have fish flavor. For this cuisine, the starter dish I chose were dan dan noodles. The main dish I chose was kung pao chicken, and the dessert I chose was moon cake, which comes in all sorts of flavors. And the last cuisine is Zhejiang, which comes in 3 styles of cuisine. The first is the Hangzhou style, which is characterized by rich variations and the use of bamboo shoots. The next style is Shaoxing, which uses poultry and freshwater fish. And the last one is Ningbo style, which uses seafood with emphasis on freshness and salty dishes. And it originated during the Neolithic age, and it's popular in the Zhejiang province, and the flavors are known to be light, fresh, and tender. So for this cuisine, the starter dish I chose was deep fried bean curd. The main dish is dongpo pork, and the dessert was a lotus root with sweet sauce. And these are my sources. And yeah.
Thank you so much, Emily, for the great presentation and for collecting all the important recipes. I'm really hungry after after watching all the wonderful pictures. So any questions for Emily? So Emily is collecting recipes from 8 Chinese cuisines.
Mm-hmm.
Any questions for Emily? Okay. Thank you so much, Emily, for
No
doing
problem.
such an important project. Okay. Our next presenter, Chenxi Doris Stacy. Are you ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay.
Like we made a video, so probably we just share the screen.
Okay, please try it and let me know if you have any questions.
是这样吗？应该吧？是不是先点这个？全屏。我怎么知道？是不是点得上？不行吗？应该行。
Today we are going to talk about China has a long history as well as its food culture. Food culture refers to many aspects, including technology, customs, traditions, ideas, philosophy of food-based development, utilization, and food consumption of specific social groups. That is, the way people produce food and live. Chinese have a saying that people regard food as their prime want. Chinese food culture can be classified from the perspectives of times and techniques, region and economy, nationality and religion, food and utensil, food customs and functions, and so on. These different categories show different cultural tastes, reflecting different values of food. Due to the influence of many factors, such as history, politics, economy, culture, and even wars, in the vast and rich land of China, a rich and diversified food culture has emerged, and many regions have formed its own unique food culture. Northeast China, in a broad sense, refers to the area formed by Jilin, Heilongjiang, northern Liaoning, and Inner Mongolia eastern 5 lingual cities with similar territories and cultures. The capital of the Northeast people is Love, and the Northeast cuisine has inherited the characteristics of the boldness of the local people. It is characterized by large volume and wide range of materials. It is famous for various stores that are full of heat and full of flavor. Northeastern roasted cold noodles originated from Heilongjiang province. At the beginning, there were a variety of methods for cooking cold noodles, including frying, high temperature iron plate rolling, and so on. Now, northeastern toasted cold noodles have been popular throughout the country. It is a very distinctive food in Dongbei. Fried pork in scoop is a popular dish in Dongbei cuisine. Dongbei cuisine is not in the 8 traditional Chinese cuisines, but some people call it the 9th cuisine. The process of the formation of Dongbei Chinese cuisine also combines the characteristics of some other Chinese cuisines and the Han Chinese diet. Dongbei cuisine contains many flavors, salty and sweet. Its cooking methods are grilled, fried, burned, steamed, and braised. During the reign of Guangxu, fried pork in scoop was created by Zheng Xinwen, a chef from Harbin. The dish has golden color, sour and sweet taste. In 1907, Zheng Xinwen went to Harbin Binjiang Road, Yamen, to become an official chef. Harbin Binjiang Road, Yamen often hosted foreign guests, especially Russian guests, because foreigners like to eat sweet and sour taste. Zheng Xinwen changed the original salty taste of the scorched pork into the sour and sweet taste of the dishes. This change made Harbin the origin of fried pork in scoop. Jiangsu cuisine is one of the 8 traditional Chinese cuisines. Jiangsu cuisine is good at stewing, braising, steaming, and stir-fry. It attaches importance to mixing soup and keeping the original juice of the dish with clear and fresh flavor. Yangzhou fried rice is a classical food in Yangzhou, Jiangsu province. It contains rice, ham, eggs, shrimp, and so on. When Emperor Yang of the Sui dynasty went to Jiangdu, he introduced his favorite egg fried rice to Yangzhou. Some scholars also believe that Yangzhou fried rice was originally made by ordinary people. In the Ming dynasty, Yangzhou folk cooks added ingredients to the fried rice, forming the prototype of Yangzhou fried rice. During the reign of Emperor Jiaqing of the Qing dynasty, Ming Shouyi, the secretary of Yangzhou, began to add shrimps, meat, and vegetables on the basis of fried rice, with onions, oil, and egg. Hui cuisine originated in Huizhou and is one of the 8 major cuisines in China. Hui cuisine originated in Tang and Song dynasties. flourished in the Ming and Qing dynasties and continued to develop during the Republic of China. Hui cuisine main characteristics are good at burning, braising, steaming, fried, heavy oil, heavy color, and heavy firework. The formation of Hui cuisine is closely related to the unique geographical environment, cultural environment, and food customs in ancient Huizhou. Boiled glutinous rice bowl in fermented glutinous rice is one of the most famous desserts in Hui cuisine. Small round bowls made of glutinous rice flour and boiled with wine. The wine tastes thick and sweet. Glutinous tastes soft, and soup tastes sweet. Boiled glutinous rice bowls in fermented glutinous rice can promote the blood circulation and enhances the cold resistant ability. Jiangnan district is also a major region of China. Among them, Zhejiang cuisine is one of the 8 major cuisines. Zhejiang is located on the coast of East China Sea, with beautiful scenario and rich products. It is known as the hometown of fish and rice. It is rich in aquatic resources, and there are many types of mountain plants. Zhejiang cuisine pays attention to the fresh ingredients, so it is fresh and tasty. Dongpo's breast pork is a representative dish of Zhejiang cuisine. It is originally created by Su Shi, literary giant in Song Dynasty. Su Shi was also known as Mr. Dongpo, so this dish was named Dongpo's breast pork. Zhejiang cuisine has strong cultural characteristics, and the representative dishes are also related to cultural celebrities and scenic spots such as Wesley fish in vinegar gravy and Dongpo's breast pork. The main ingredient is sticky pork. Dish finally shows a bright red color with slightly winey flavor. In southwestern China, Sichuan and Chongqing are the birthplace and development center of Chinese Sichuan cuisine. Chengdu, the capital of Sichuan, is also known as the gourmet capital. Sichuan people's preference for spicy food is affected by the geographical environment. Sichuan is located in a basin with a humid climate, so peppers are widely used in the making process. Mapo tofu, as a classic of Sichuan cuisine, highlights the spicy characteristics of Sichuan cuisine. It is the representation of Sichuan cuisine, since it uses a lot of pepper, chili, and Chinese prickly ash. The raw materials include thick bright bean sauce, tofu, beef mince, chili, pepper, and etc. In Qing Dynasty, the Granny Chen, which also called Chen Po in Chinese, cooked a delicious dish with beef and tofu. Because her face has some pockmarks, people call this dish Ma Po tofu, which means the tofu cooked by a granny with some pockmarks. Besides mapo tofu, papa is another popular traditional Chinese dishes, especially in Chongqing and Sichuan region. Papa is a Chinese cooking method prepared with a smearing pot of soup stock at the dining table, containing a variety of ingredients. Papa was popularized and loved by customers by its convenience. In northern China, dry weather gives hot pot a great potential market that eat mutton as their main dish. In southern China, especially in Chongqing, hot pot is famous by its hot, and spicy. Archaeological evidence shows that the earliest hot pots appear around the Zhou dynasty. Later, during the Qing dynasty, hot pot became popular among the emperors. In particular, the Qianlong emperor was very fond of hot pot and would eat it for almost every meal. Hot pot is not only food, but also contains the connotation of food culture. When eating hot pot, relatives and friends sit around the steaming hot pot, filled with a warm and harmonious. Ice jelly is a famous summer snack and is popular in Sichuan and Chongqing in recent years. Ice jelly can relieve the heat caused by the hot summer, and the whole person feel more peaceful. The place that has Sichuan food always has ice jelly, and the most common combination is ice jelly and hot pot. Ice jelly can neutralize the hot feeling of hot pot with its cool and smooth, delectable taste. Hunan cuisine is one of the 8 traditional Chinese cuisine and has been formed as early as the Han Dynasty. Hunan cuisine is well known for its hot and spicy flavors, fresh aroma, and deep colors. Common cooking techniques include stewing, frying, pot roasting, braising, and smoking. Shredded cabbage is a famous dish in Hunan cuisine, with its elaborate use of chili peppers, shallots, and garlic. Hunan cuisine is known for being purely hot, whereas ganla in Chinese, which is opposite to Sichuan cuisine, to which it is often compared. The delicious cherry cabbage should be slightly reddish in white, with some soup under the dish. It should smell of a chopped scent of dry chili, slightly sour cream by vinegar, and also a little sweet. The taste should be crispy, but well cooked, sweet with salt, and also combined with sour. Dumplings and wontons are both popular flour food for thousands of years in China, and they are the two main drivers for Chinese people. Although both dumplings and wontons can be considered as a north-south food in current China. After all, Northerners prefer dumplings, while Southerners like to eat wontons. Dumplings are more widely known around the world than wontons. Due to the long-term position of the political center of the North, the status of dumplings has also been elevated and has become one of the representatives and symbols of Chinese folk culture. The name Jiaozi means the moment when the new year and the old year intersect. Because dumplings are shaped like silvery ingots, they can also be packaged as mascots based on people's habits and wishes to hold their hopes for the new year. So this food becomes a festival folk food. As for the stuffing of dumplings, they can be roughly divided into two types, meat stuffing and vegetable stuffing. Due to the filling, the protein in the filling can decompose virus-based acid, so it is nutritious and delicious. The processing techniques for dumpling are steamed, fried, boiled, and pressed. The name of wonton might appear even before the dumplings. There is no separation between wonton and dumplings in ancient China. Wonton dumplings are filled with stuff by flour and is called chaos, which is homophonic with wonton in Chinese. It later changed to wonton and has been used to this day. The characteristics of wonton are separable from stuffing and soup. Above delicious wonton floats like a cloud in the soup in a large bowl. Regardless of visual taste, it is a treat. Shanghai wontons emphasize fresh stuffing, sufficient amount, and good soup. It developed a big and small wontons. The big wontons are green vegetables and meat stuffing. Small wontons are pure meat stuffing. Zhejian and Huzhou wonton are famous for its thin skin and filling. Cantonese-style wonton is filled with seafood. Its fresh soup with beautiful filling gives the elegant appearance and unique flavor. Sichuan's meat dumpling in spicy sauce is known for its bright color. Adding heavy condiments such as chili, pepper, soy sauce, fried oil is very enjoyable for people with a strong taste. The combination of food and culture is an epic-making breakthrough. It gives a deeper cultural accumulation for pure cooking technique. On the basis of inheriting Chinese food culture, we must also seek its correct development path. In fact, food culture, inheritance, and development are inseparable. Grasp Chinese traditional food culture, study Chinese Taoist food culture, organize Chinese national food culture, and develop Chinese folk food culture, from which you can accept delicious foods of various nationalities and residents from all regions to make Chinese food to be integrated. As consumers, we should cautiously establish the concept of diet literacy. The emphasis and improvement of personal food literacy promotes the inheritance and development of Chinese food culture from the level of self-creation. The essence of the development of traditional Chinese food culture has been inherited and enriched by people. As college students, we should actively understand traditional food culture and continue to explore and innovate to enrich its connotation.
Okay, thank you so much, she, Doris, and Stacy, for making such a wonderful video. Did you successfully upload it on YouTube?
No, like we tried, but it was like super large, and we kind of canceled it and we need to reload it again.
Then please just send the video to me directly by using the OneDrive.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Thank you so much again for the great presentation.
Thank you.
Okay. So our next presenter is Anne. Anne made a great video, short video for us. So I would love to play the video for us. It's about 3 minutes. So after that, if you have any questions, so feel free to ask Anne. Okay, this is Anne's video.
Jiaoqiu or Chinese dumplings are also known as water dumplings, meaning they are boiled in water. It is one of the most popular Chinese dishes around the world, and many people enjoy them. Dumplings have a history of more than 1,800 years. Originally, it was used to cure illness. It was reportedly invented by Zhang Zhongjing, one of the most famous practitioners of traditional Chinese medicine in ancient China. In a particular winter, it was extremely cold and febrile disease became an epidemic. Many poor people submitted to the cold weather and suffered the frostbite in their ears. Zhang Zhongjing were upset and determined to fight against the disease. He mixed mutton meat, chili peppers, and herbs together and then shredded them as fillings. He used dough to warp this filling into ear-shaped food. After boiling the food, he gave them to patients, each patient with 2 ears and 1 bowl of hot soup. Thousands of days passed. The new food cured the patient's frostbite and brought the epidemic under control. Later, people would copy Zhang Zhongjing's recipe and mix various types of vegetable and meat into fillings of dumplings. That was the birth of dumplings. In North China, people normally finish preparing dumplings before midnight of Tuesday, which means the night before the Lunar New Year. They eat dumplings between 11 p.m. of Tuesday and 1 a.m. of the Lunar New Year. The period of time is considered as the changing point between the Old and the New Years, which were called Jiao Tu by ancient Chinese, a similar pronunciation to dumpling, Jia Tu. People eat dumplings during this time to pray for joy, happiness, and prosperity for the new year. Eating dumplings during Chinese New Year is said to bring good fortune financially, as dumplings look like ingots, the currency used in old times. Dumplings are a representative Chinese cuisine, with both shape and filling have cultural meaning. That's why they are essential for some during Spring Festival, as they express their aspirations for a better life and hopes for certain blessings.
Oh, Anne, I just saw your a message. Yes, please. I only got this video from the PDF document. So will you please also share the screen, show us another video demonstrating how to cook Chinese dumplings?
Yes, wait a minute.
Okay, please use share screen. So our final presenter will be Amanda. So Amanda, are you ready?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so after Anne shows her video, so it will be your turn.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you see the
Yes, I can
video?
see.
Oh.
Yeah. I couldn't hear the sound.
Which is called Chinese
It's okay.
Chinese.
Yeah.
And it's a popular dish during Chinese New Year season. And when I saw the recipe online, I found it very simple to make it, even though I haven't made it before. And I hope I will be success on my first try. Moreover, this dumpling will be made according to my preference, but I still list necessary ingredients to make authentic dumpling.
So the ingredients needed to make authentic dumpling are all-purpose flour, water, ground pork, soy sauce, sesame oil, cooking wine, salt, chopped scallion, and minced ginger.
So I'm going to make wrapper first on a bowl, put flour, and make a hole on the middle of the bowl, and slowly stir in water, adding as much as is necessary to form a smooth dough.
So remember, don't add too much water at the same time. Knead the dough into a smooth ball, then cover the dough with a tea towel or some plastic wrap and let it rest for at least 15 minutes.
Purchase your tracks today.
So while waiting for the dough rest, I'm going to make the fillings. Add soy sauce, sesame oil, cooking wine, salt. I like smell pepper, so I add a little bit of pepper, minced ginger, and chopped scallion. Also, I add the sugar to balance the flavor.
Purchase your tracks today. Purchase your tracks today.
Don't forget to put meat stock into the fillings. Dust a clean surface with flour and turn out the dough. Roll the dough into a long cylindrical shape with a diameter about 3 cm.
Tôi chỉ sợ cái này nó làm.
Divide the dough into small pieces. Use a sharp knife to maintain the round shape.
Dai đâm lên. So press to a small round shape and use the roller to roll each piece into a thin sheet with like 7 or 6 centimeter diameter. Because I don't have a roller, so I use the powder to roll the dough. Because it's hard to maintain the round shape, so I use my hand instead to make it form into the round shape. For me, the hardest part is to make the wrapper because the wrapper has to be round and thin as possible. Place about 1 tablespoon of the filling into the middle of each wrapper and then fold the dough over the filling into a half moon shape and pinch the edge to seal and repeat. My sister is also trying to fold the wrapper into the half moon shape, but it seems to be failed because their wrapper seems to be really like soft. So we're trying to make our best to fold the wrapper.
Purchase your tracks today.
So fill a pot with water and bring to a boil. Add the dumplings into the boiling water, giving them a gentle stir so they don't stick together. So when the dumplings come to a boil, strain and place them on a serving plate and serve immediately. So I have finished the Chinese dumpling and I will make it success for the second time because this is my first time, so I still have like some mistake.
Thank you so much, Anne, for making such a wonderful video. And also, I'm so hungry. I just want to eat the dumplings that you just made. Any questions for Anne? So, Anne, did you make the dumplings at home?
Yes, I made it at home.
Okay, thank you. It's a great video. Will you please also stop share? The stop share should be at the top of the menu bar. Stop share. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so now it's 3:50. Actually, it should be the end of our class, but we still have one more presenter. So Amanda will give her presentation. So if you have any other obligations, please feel free to leave. Especially, Anne, I think probably it's midnight or early morning for you, Anne. Is that correct? Okay.
It would be like 3 a.m. I think.
3 a.m. in
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, thank you so much. So Amanda, are you ready for the final presentation?
Yes.
Yes, please share screen.
Okay. Can everyone see the screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yep.
So I'm start. So today I will introduce non-C minorities that are located in southern part of China, and also one of their traditional celebration dishes is called or a event is called Killing Pig Party, and yeah. Oh, and the Chinese character in the middle center is the Chinese name for that Nazi, like how to write down this. So this is the outline. I divided into 4 sections. The first one is the Nazi Killing Pig Party. The second one is Killing Pig Party's visitors, as what I have experienced in the last winter break. And the third part is ethnic minority Nazi. Basically, like it is a background information. And in the first part is talk about the religion beliefs that Nazi minorities believe in. It's called Dongba. Yeah. Okay, let's talk the first part is the Nazi Killing Pig Party. So basically it is a traditional celebration to the new year in rural region. So what is the killing pig party? So first, as I introduced, is the celebration way, and it's normally before the spring festival. And the killing pig party officially like day off for the people who want to do this. They need to like choose their own date, but it's really important and a really like necessary day for people, especially for the farmers. And the Killing Pig Party also provide a opportunity for people to come back to their original, like their hometown, to their like the old house where the old generation normally lived in, and it provides opportunity for the family reunion. And for the Killing Pig Party, it's killed more than 1 pig per time, and the pigs are raised by family for around 1 year. So the pig here is called like year pig. Yeah. And why the Killing Pig Party means a lot to, especially to the Nazi like farmers, because the first is back to the early time, the average of rural family and rural income was really low, and few family could offer like afford meat on table like for day or for like each meal time. So thus it could perform wealthy level for family who did the Killing Pig Party, and because they will like all the people in the village, they will know who have like set up this Killing Pig Party, and yeah. And the meat would treat into jerk, safe for consumption in later time. So as the jerk meat can keep more than, as I know, more than 3 months in that area. And they also have the control reason. The first thing is to communicate to the ancestors. The second is communication to ghosts and gods, to their beliefs. And the third is a reunion. And the fourth is apply good luck for next year. So the picture here, the first picture on the top is the already used salty and some materials to treat the pig legs and hang there on the like in front of the door, and after a period they will turn into jerks. And the below picture is the roast pork that works as the appetizer for the Killing Pig Party, like the food, the dishes. So the killing pig party is commonly observed in northern, middle southern, and southern area in China. There exist similarities, but also lots of difference. So each region or even each family, they have their own specific dishes. So in Nasi, the bloody red sausages, roast pork, roast pig, bean, 凉粉, and roast 饵块 are like the special dishes here. And there is no lunch or dinner time for this killing pig party. As you come to their house, you can just start to eat, and after you are done, you can just leave. Yeah, it's the dishes include soup, stir fry, stewed, fried, lots of like different kinds of. So there is the short video for that, and I don't know if I can, because on the left one is the like killing process, and on the right one is how to bake the roasted pork. And so you can see that they set up a kind of like simple like it's so on the top it's just the rock slide, yeah, and and the left one is it's already finished. So I have lots of like videos on how to the killing the pig, but I just picked this one because it's kind of like not really bloody at the time. So so let's talk about the second part, is the killing pig party's visitor. So how to perform as a good visitor for this family activity. So as a minority with its own culture and tradition, Nasi rarely invites foreigners to participate in pig killing fest, even if they are not exclusive. So the instance of this activity is a family reunion to celebrate the coming of the new year. So it is a kind of like semi-closed celebration. Usually the Nasi people invite their best friend to join the family's pig killing fest, which shows your status in the hearts of the friends. As a guest, you do not need to participate in pig killing, cooking, or set up like arrangement. All you need to do is to go to the house, show respect, and then eat dishes prepared by the host. However, as an unwritten rule, you should bring some rice or oil to the host, and do not prepare money at all. If host has children, you can bring some books or toys or snacks to the kids. So this is a picture when we like eating the food, we take it, and the seats are very rule abiding. So the family members and foreigners are not allowed to sit together, and family members sit together according to their generations. So you can see like on the one table, maybe there have really like older people around like in their 70s, but they also maybe have a young boy around like 10 or 12 years old. But this one can sit with the like older people because the young one has a really high generation level. So let's talk about the third part, is the introduction for the Nasi minorities. So where are they settled down? So Nasi mainly like live in the Yunnan province. On the Chinese map, you can see here is the pinkish section here, and to be in detail is more settled down in the Lijiang area, and Lijiang area is like the small face on there. So you can see the non-Xizhu like minorities are settled down in the southern part of China and also connect to other countries. So the total population for Nasi is around 310,000. The sex ratio is around 1, and they originated in the ancient time and were recorded before the Qin dynasty. And the stock farming is main economic supports, and it's also follow specific like hierarchy roles, and it's also attach importance to the blood relatives. So the religion beliefs is major, like 2 religions are Tibetan Buddhism and the Dongba. So, and Nasi's language is called Nasi Yu, while the vocabulary is called Dongba word. So it's really interesting here. And they also do sacrifice to connect ancestors, gods, and gods. So on the left hand, the picture here is the Dongba words. Like the meaning for this is love. And yeah. And there is a video that I recorded during they play the traditional music. And all the clothes they wear on their body is the traditional Nazi minorities clothes. So let's talk about the Nazi minorities beliefs as Dongba beliefs. So Nazi minority is a multi-religious group. It not only believes in Dongba religion, but also some people believe in Tibetan Buddhism, Taoism, Han Buddhism, and so on. Dongba religion originated from the local Wage religion in history and has a characteristics of her primitive Wage beliefs and religion. Dongba religion belongs to Platonism, including ancestor worship, ghost worship, and nature worship. The forms of religious activities include sacrifice to heaven, funeral ceremony, exorcism, disaster prevention, and divination. Dongba scripture is the main scripture of Dongba religion, which was written in Dongba words. So as the picture I showed you guys before is just like look like the real object you want to describe, and like the drawing here. The spirits of Dongba religion are sacralized, and there is not much difference between them and Nazi believers in both appearance and lifestyle. So the central sentence for the Dongba religion is the natural and man are brothers. So Nazi minorities believe that they are really close related to the whole natural environment, and they respect to the all the animals or even the plants or just the water or mountain. And there are 3 pictures here. The top one is the Dongba, like the leader for the religion to like do the lecture, and the on the left hand below one is people who like write down the Dongba words. And the right side one is the perform the ritual. So the purpose of sacrificing wind or wind sacrifice is to release the souls of the abnormal dead, such as suicide, especially between lovers, and disasters of the war. Nazi minorities believe that the souls of people who died or not like peacefully died will become evil spirits, and the offering sacrifice to heaven is an important religious activity of Nazi people during a year. Like for each year, spring and autumn are held in fixed heaven worship field with family as a unit. 2 chestnut trees and cribs stand in the center of the sacrifice hall, representing the father, mother of heaven. And the big incense is planted under the sacrifice tree, offering objects and sacrifice. So people do this because they want to get the protection from the heaven, like from the God or from their ancestors. So that's pretty much it. And if you have any questions, just let me know, or you want to do some discussions.
Amanda, thank you so much for this great presentation. So please remind me what your main thesis is. So when you write this paper, and what's your main conclusion?
So my main thesis is throw the so I want to like throw a food that I ate, and it helped me to like create my interest in learning one minority's culture and to like have a deeply understanding for their culture and their religions.
And what may be your main argument or statement or conclusion? Or in other words, what did you learn from their religions, beliefs, and practice?
So the first thing I think is the natural world they are really respect to, and even though they have done the sacrifice, for example, they killing the pigs, they sacrifice the dogs, animals, they still have a really tightly relationship to the natural world. And and the second thing, actually, I maybe forgot to mention, based on the time limitation. So I learned there are lots of culture already declined in China right now, and also Nazi's culture face that problem. So there are less people, especially less Nazi minority people, know how to write down or read the Dongba words in current days. And I think they maybe because the multi culture combination around the whole China, like because the transportation and the education and the communication become more and more easier today. Lots of the nationalities people, they will left their originally like hometown and they just move to other cities and do not like or do not need really to learn Dongba words or their cultural beliefs at all. And yeah, and I think they're
Okay, thank you. So Austin or Dee, do you have any questions or comments for Amanda?
No, not for now. I think it's good enough.
Okay, thank you.
No.
Okay. Thank you so much, Amanda, for your great presentation. And thank you so much for staying with us, Austin and Dee. I think that's it for today. Thank you again.
Thank you, Professor. See you on Thursday.
See you.